Pregame.com.
College basketball season is here. I don't think I've watched so many games in such a short span of time as I have over the last week. I'm trying to see every college basketball game I possibly can. And the funny thing is, halfway into the season, I probably will watch so few until March Madness and conference tournaments come around. Because by then, my numbers are strong. I have confidence in them. But right now, it's trying to figure out, where I need to adjust and where I should be confident in. I think right now is one of those times of the season you could really take advantage of perception because of the fact there hasn't been any games to really justify the perception. Instead, it's just going on what's been read in a magazine or what's been seen on television or what's happened a year ago, And I think at least with a couple games under the belt, public perception, although you could take advantage of it, at least it's a little more valid. Like you could look at an NFL team and the Colts are bad. That's public perception. It's correct. But if you would have said it before the season starts, that's not, you couldn't be certain, Mm-hmm. And I think right now with college basketball, that's how you can take advantage. Some of these teams are ranked based on nothing more than speculation, what happened last year, and an incoming crop of freshmen. And because of that, I don't think that the lines are really as sharp as they're going to be later on in the season. Even, I'm not saying the fade good teams. I mean, sometimes even, going with a good team. A perfect example is earlier in this week, Kansas played Kentucky. Now, Kansas, being a top-ranked team, was catching all these points from Kentucky. And Kentucky may be number one, but most expected a close game, and Kansas was getting a ton of money from the betting public. When I looked into the game, although I have Kansas not as high as the AP does, I expect them to be a good team, but not this early in the season. I mean, that ranking, I think, is more based on what they expect them to be doing 2 months from now than where they are right now. It takes time for an incoming team to gel, So I just think this is the time of year where you need to look at those polls and, I mean, it may sound bad to say, but not give them the respect you may later in the season. And if you, look at your numbers and they reflect something different, I think sometimes you need to trust yourself. I don't know. It's been working for me coming out of the gate by not, worrying about what the projection is by everybody else and instead what I think it should be and just sticking to it.
Yeah, when you take a look at, for example, every conference has the media poll and the coaches poll for their own, and they project where the teams are going to finish the year. They're talking about where the teams will finish the year,
Exactly.
not where they will start the year. And you'll find many cases, I mean, St. John's is, everybody's off of St. John's. I think that one returning player on that team. You've got a Utah team who's lost a lot of players since the new coach came in. You got a UCLA team that's not even going to be close to where they should have been or where they will be at the end of the season. You need to be abreast of this. And a lot of these polls have been out for a long time, and they're basically saying who's going to be there at the end of the year,
Exactly.
not who's going to be there now.
And look at the variance in scoring right now. You have 18-point favorites losing the games.
Yeah.
10, 12-point favorites losing the games. I think later in the season you get those upsets, but not as much as you're getting right now. I mean, it looks to me like, once again, the numbers are based on nothing more than quick power ratings that are going to be adjusted significantly over the next 30 days. That the odds makers, obviously, they're creating their numbers, but these numbers are going to be significantly adjusted within the next 30 days after these teams get some games under their belt. And then the line's based on that perception, that poll, where we expect these teams to be, like you said, come March. Because of that, I think this is one of those times you can really take advantage of the market. I mean, you're seeing these lines move like crazy. And I don't think you're going to see that unless there's a suspension, unless there's an injury. I don't see a total moving 8 points or a side moving 5, 6 points from one team favored to the other team favored and keep going, climbing, and not even anyone attempting a middle come late in the season. I mean, it just looks to me like you shouldn't be afraid to jump in right head first right away.
Yeah, if you've done your work, I mean, it's 350 teams. The lines maker is not going to have a good handle on 350
No.
teams. You know, there's a guy in the forum who specializes in certain teams. Poole, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
And he's very good.
If he
at the
gives you
teams he
that
follows.
Missouri State teams,
Right.
those, forget about it.
Yep,
That's
those
money.
are the kind. It's like me and
That's
the Mac.
money.
I mean, everybody who's got that certain specialty, follow them. They know more about it than the general lines maker does, and that's how you make money early in the season.
I agree. And if you want someone that knows everything, I'm just playing. But maybe we'll get some NBA. Right now, it looks like we won't.
I'm undefeated so far in the NBA, and this is the farthest I've ever gotten.
I've already, I can't believe this guy. I've already started, I was going to start a promotional campaign that I'm perfect, and you just took it from me. Now I can't even tout that. But I have come out of the gate good in college basketball, looking to continue. Don't forget, check out all our videos at pregamevideos.com. Please pass along any handicapping insights you have on college basketball, because like Bryan said, 350 teams. I'm willing to take information that's out there, so go ahead and share it. Pregamevideos.com.